someone is tailoring their message for one group or another, that's what they should be doing. That's what a leader of the free world should be doing.
That's an amazing contradiction you just said within 2 sentences of yourself, Don. If you're governing for everyone, then why would you craft policies that only apply to some people?
I didn't. Someone was talking in my ear. I didn't hear the end of that. Hold on. We'll say the end of your sentence again.
If you're governing for everyone, why would you craft policies that only apply to some people?
I don't think that's what.
Right, Will,
that's not what you said.
Will,
you said what he said was correct.
Will, here's the situation.
You're right.
Here's the deal, right?
See, I think you need to rationalize these two things. I'm not inconsistent here.
Listen, Will.
I'm listening,
President Obama is not handing out gifts. All right, he's being a president. Now, the only thing I found really consistent with this is that Romney has been essentially hating on half the country for almost 2 years. I didn't necessarily find his comments out of line with everything else he has talked about. We've been characterizing him as gas. I've been trying to say this is who he really is. He really believes half the country is a bunch of moochers. Now, I think what's really interesting is that if you strip away all the areas, the urban areas that's predominantly minority, right? He still lost a whole bunch of white people, too. The man is refusing to take personal responsibility, which is the height of irony when you think about what he went around and talked about with 47% of the people not being personally responsible for their own lives. Here, he lost an election mostly because of the fact that he was a bad option. The GOP knows he was a bad option. That's why they fought him so hard during the primary, because he was a bad choice. But they ended up with him. They reluctantly had to get behind him. And what you're seeing now are the chickens coming home to roost. That's all that you're seeing. And this whole
I know you got to run.
We got to go. But I just,
I know you do. There's so many things to
I love you. I just cannot believe you said what he said was accurate. What he said was a height of insulting. It was so insulting and so condescending.
Let me make a suggestion.
And to say that it's just insulting to a whole bunch of people. I can't believe that you would even think that way.
Okay, so let me make a suggestion. Since you guys happen to know me and since you know me and you happen to know the kind of statements I make, let me explain them. I know you've got to run on to the next thing, but I can assure you that what I said is highly logical and it makes sense.
It's highly logical and it makes sense to you. And it makes sense to, it's just like the numbers and the polls all made sense if you're doing some fuzzy math. It doesn't make sense.
Oh, is that now you're lumping me in?
Thank you.
Now you're lumping me in with people that didn't believe the polls.
And it's insulting.
No, all I'm saying is that Maine is filled with white people. He didn't even win Maine.
Thank you, guys.
Maine is filled with white people. He didn't even win Maine.
This is
Thank you, guys. All right. Bye-bye. Israel versus Hamas. Can the conflict ever be settled ahead? We'll ask an expert on the region what it will take for the violence to end.